Welcome back to the J-Play playthrough of... Oh, I'm sorry. The J-Play play-along of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Thought I'd try coining a new term this time around. Let me know how it works, okay? Anywho, this is part 19, and we're off to continue the hunt for those pesky emeralds. But first, you know those gameplay series that depicts fail in at least one video? Well, it happened here again in Carnival Night because those bats are dying, loss of control, inevitable, all my rings. But yeah, bat bots are placed in less than fair places, and they have a weird trajectory as they approach you. Especially don't like, as you saw, whenever they're near a set of spinning towers like that, I have virtually no means of defending myself. Sad face! But you know what? Given the extremely forgiving continue system in this game, it's alright. It's alright. I can more than make up for it. Get that flame shield. Lose that flame shield. That wasn't very smart. And the fail continues, although I think that was the last of it for now. That aside, right past this checkpoint is another special stage ring. I like this special stage. It has Halloween colors. There's 6 sets of 3x3 squares and 4 other spheres, so all you really have to do is hunt them out. Avoid the 4 others for now if you want the perfect ones. There's the first 3x3. It's a bit hard to see if you're looking in the wrong direction. And there's 2 and 3. 4 and 5 should be on the other side. This really does feel like a scavenger hunt for some reason. Collect 58 blue spheres and return to base before your opponent. 6 is hidden, just like the first. Then return to the first 4 you saw for an easy emerald get, and I almost messed that up. Emerald number 5. Get! You have been collected! I have obtained you as number 5 in my collection of gemstones of entropy! Yeah. And now we're skipping ahead to Act 2 because the rest of Act 1 was uneventful as far as new things are concerned. I suppose the only thing left to say is my overall feeling about this zone. This is, perhaps, the most colorfully intimidating level in the entire classic Sonic series. You've got flashing lights of every shape, size, and part of the visual spectrum. You've got spinning wheels, akin to the ones in Scrap Brain Zone. You've got elevators without platforms, cannons, bumpers, anti-gravity. All these contraptions that at first glance are quite futuristic for the gamers of 1994. And it's an ironclad circus, no less. The processing power of the Genesis really lends itself to the busyness we see here. And let's not forget the stereotype of bats in video games. That's right, Belmont. Or maybe we can blame ourselves for not adapting properly. I don't know. If it's not the bats, the spikes are right behind, making this the second most frustrating zone to get through for me. It's just one big ball of hurt and pain and confusion and dismay, all rolled up in a pocket-sized burrito for easy consumption. But I guess if Sonic Team wanted me to exercise caution here, then they hit the nail right on the head. Okay, I just wanted to show off this area here because this is the exact spot where Knuckles detours Sonic and Tails, triggering their boss fight. And the first time I saw this, I was like, well, isn't this dandy? I get to avoid a boss fight and skip straight to Ice Cap. In that sense, Carnival Night doesn't really seem like a zone at all for Knuckles, but more a transition between Marble Garden and Ice Cap. A fairly annoying transition with electrical bad bots out of hell, which I'm glad is over. I'm still gonna miss the electro suction though. It's one part of it I don't mind. And up into the serene ice caverns? But Sonic fell into it on a snowboard and... no, never mind. This is another zone where Knuckles' innate ability to break parts of the level by running into it comes into play. And thus his path again differs, especially at a certain point. If you could take a look at Knuckles' expression here for a moment as he's sliding down, it's very, I don't know what's going on, guys, no traction equals no butter kicking! It's quite humorous. Just thought I'd throw that out there before I start saying relevant things. Like I said before, Ice Cap is considered far and wide to be the be-all, end-all, best zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and even though that isn't my personal opinion, I can see why. The music for Acts 1 and 2 is addicting, leading them to become the 2 Sonic songs with the most remixes and arranges of all time. even more than Green Hill, and that's saying something. The setting is fantastic and the first of its kind. A massive cavern of ice that shines like it's crystal. It's really pretty when combined with what looks like native yet crystalline shrubbery and flora, I'll give it that. When Sonic starts this level, he finds a makeshift snowboard stuck in a pillar of snow, bounces off it, and starts boarding down a hill. If any of the three examples I just gave aren't awe-inspiring, or beautiful, or cool beyond cool in concept, then not to sound biased in favor of Sonic or Genesis games, but what games were you playing in the 94? Do leave a comment below. I'd like to read it. As wonderful as it is, though, this place isn't without danger. Here resides the mighty Penguinator, who will personally send you to hell. Okay, maybe not, but it's still fairly annoying. On top of that, we have sentient pillars that want to crush you. Crush you! Icicles and outcrops of ice in fairly odd places and situations that have you going, should I glide here? Should I play it safe? The game starts making you think about what you can do and what you can't. Damn Penguinator, I didn't see him there. Wrong way. What? I can't punch through that ice? Why not? I'm Knuckles! Well, the answer is that this is Sonic exclusive. You can get through there with debug mode, but yeah. As you can see though, heading down, there's another giant ice wall thing that you could break through. As if the game says, you thought you could go through Sonic's route? Nope, you don't get to. You will head this way, or so help me, you're getting another time over. Yeah, showing him who's boss. I just sped up this mid-boss fight, because there's nothing really important to see here, other than Knuckles can't jump as high. But you know that already, because I mentioned it in Part 18. Is it getting fairly obvious that I'm running out of things to say? Alright, for Act 2, you'll see a fair bit of transitions, and I do apologize for that, but something personal came up at this point in time, and I had to stop recording for a bit. On top of that, I'm running out of space on my desktop, so I was going to save up for an external hard drive. I don't have enough just yet for that, but I'm hoping by the time this play-along is done and over with, I will. Okay, Act 2 shows a transition to a much more open Arctic area, and I don't mean open as in roaming wide expanses or empty ice fields of the sort. I mean that Ice Cap Act 2 is the explorer's natural enemy, or the explorer's wet dream, depending on your point of view. The point is that there's only really one or two quote-unquote treasures to be found here, and not until late level either. You're unimpressive, Star Pointer! I can glide your super slow ninja stars away anyhow. Inferiority! Until then, there's almost literally nowhere you can wall climb to great effect. It's called jumping and gliding if you know where to land. Right here, for example. Here we'll have a chasm in which the only other way is up. Normally, I would just scale the wall and keep going. But unfortunately, if I tried here, I would be skewered by crystal formations. Bad way to go. Also, the walls are too far apart to transition from left to right. However, there are these trampolines I can use to slingshot my way up. It's a bit of an extra challenge for the Knuckles player that loves to hug walls. And more Penguinators! The joy of my life. So, if we glide over to the left here, we'll find the first of the treasures I mentioned, which isn't really a treasure, it's just a lightning shield and 10 rings. It's a personal treasure. Makes me feel fuzzy inside, especially the lightning shield. I could hug it to death. Okay, more transitions aside. Building momentum through this section will give us the chance to catch this high-up trampoline to shoot us further up to the second treasure, which is much larger than the first, about 50 rings. And to the right of that, another special stage ring. Let's go! Get hype and fun! This is my favorite special stage in the 7. It's simple in design, yet challenging in practice, not to mention all the blue. There's 4 4x4 squares here, all within easy access, so you don't have to worry about the perfect bonus. If you like collecting rings, you've got that in the bag. What you want to worry about are the 2x2s, because they don't turn into rings. As a matter of fact, what I like to do is go in a straight line, as you'll see, and pick up the blue spheres as I go. That way, I rarely, if ever, cut myself off from the path unnecessarily, or trap myself in red spheres. Even though I said that does happen here, but fortunately it was late enough for me to jump 2 spheres. Turn is necessary, but stay straight otherwise. That's the key. The key to victory. And now we have 6 emeralds! Just one more left! And apparently it's possible to get 2 extra lives in one special stage with careful score manipulation. Maybe even 3 if you collect 100 rings beforehand. Maybe someone ought to try that out with the second special stage. Jump over you. Jump over you, strip you of defenses, and jump over you. Okay. Egg Robo incoming. Take him down. That little platform there. It's moving up and down. Avoid those blasts of ice vapor. It usually follows the pattern of left center, right center, but don't get juked. Also, unlike the Robotnik version, that little platform moves up and down. Time your jumps. After 6 hits, the Oh! Bastard child with no parents! That was my favorite number of rings! I can't stand it when that one boss gets in that last cheap shot before he or she's wrecked. What's with you and destroy my lightning shields too? That makes me a little more sad than I was previously with the bats. I was going to say he attempts to box you in, but he's really slow and you can get the last 2 hits in easy. The exhaust can still freeze you though. And that's Ice Cab in a nutshell. Let's move on to the launch base. There's something hidden very early on in Act 1, and no, it's not the anticlimax of dropping onto a moving Orbinaut. Below the spinning drum and to the left is the gateway to the 7th and final special stage. Hey, that's almost like Angel Island. I love how things go full circle like that. Here, I strongly suggest you make squares out of anything you can find. This special stage requires a decent degree of square recognition and knowing your surroundings, because this place is huge, confusing, and chock full of red spheres. Let's clear up some space first. Now, I realize with the yellow and the purple, I probably shouldn't have sped this part up. If you're prone to epilepsy, I won't force you to look at the screen, because I do lose my way halfway through, and the scrolling gets really fast. Skip! That's not cheating. That's called manipulation of speed, baby. I remember going... Oh. I remember going like that. Where the heck are the last 2? I remember I was sort of panicking that I'd run into a red sphere by mistake. And then I found the last 6 rings in a hidden compartment, and I was like, ooh, sweet, perfect bonus. Yep, there it is. Anyone getting dizzy yet? I turned way too much. Oh, wait, there it is. Yes! There they are. And now we have all 7. Yeah! How's that for dramatic build-up? Ah. Even those last special stages, the most balls to the wall yet, I find this game out of the Genesis series the easiest to collect the emeralds in. Well, okay, that's not exactly true. Now Knuckles can be Super Knuckles! Aw, yeah, that's right! This is no doubt an awe-inspiring, monumental occasion that should be celebrated throughout the world in galaxies unknown for all time, and then that happens! That's the greatest congratulations I could ask for. Really? You can just hear the disdain dripping from my voice! I'm beginning to wonder how Angel Island has so many different regions in it. So far, there's been a tropical jungle, an underwater palace, ancient ruins on top of what looks like a mountainous area covered in forest, a colorfully frustrating metropolis death trap, an extremely unfriendly Act 2, a massive formation of ice flows and glaciers and an ocean, and now we have a really tall launch pad for the Death Egg smack dab in the middle of a bay. How can these zones coexist so close together? It feels like we're traversing the world rather than one monstrous island, and back there I got a special stage ring, which awards the player with 50 rings once you have all 7 emeralds. And all we have to do to activate our awesome new super form is jump and hit the jump button again, like that. Ah! Ah! Now begins the brutalization of the game. Look at me, I'm Super Nux, and I completely disregard your numerous attempts to murder me. You want some of this? I don't think so, chump! I could keep going like this for the rest of the act, but I'm not gonna. I'll spare you the constant destruction of your speakers I did in the previous part, as if I didn't do so already. So yeah, Super Nux. My voice. All that shouting. This solves the acceleration issue, as he's now more agile as with every super form. He can also jump higher, about as high as Sonic and Tails can, go fast enough and he starts shining. And of course, there's the standard issue invulnerability, which is only defenseless against being crushed and drowning. Pick up a bubble shield and the latter won't be an issue. Oh, and timing out. Who does that anymore? Certainly not me. Now, about this place. I'm getting the vibe that this is more like a variation of Sonic 2's chemical plant set. The only real difference I can find is that this is an outdoor factory, half submerged in water, which is kinda cool, but in reality it's highly impractical. I mean, have you ever seen a launch pad for a space station in a lake? On a floating island? I mean, there's a high possibility that Robotnik built this place, but still, that'll mess up your mechanics real bad, including the badniks. Why don't they short circuit when they're submerged like regular machines? Because the doctor built them that way. Get out of here with that. Here we go with the egg and then the Robo one again, taking him out like we do in those fancy speedruns. But the fight's not over. Up next we have a machine that was the original final boss in Sonic 3, but this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So oh no! He grabbed me with them hands. I love that sound. So, in order to make it feel less final boss-like, because it honestly isn't, whoever you play as will only face 2 of the 3 boss machines back to back. And even without Super Nux, this isn't too bad. You just gotta jump at the right time, and you're given ample amounts of it to do so. You can glide to make it even easier. Now I'm running out of rings. Bubble Shield, get ready to protect me! On occasion I'll try and hit you with the spikes there, but come on. Unless you have a sleep or something, there's no way he's gonna hit you. This boss fight is ridiculously slow-paced, and I don't think I can emphasize slow enough. So yeah, gonna wait for this capsule to drop out of the sky, and then with this, we once again end the Sonic 3 portion of the game. And then, Egg Robo, being the sore loser that he is, goes and drops a bomb on us, which apparently takes out the entire launch base Act 2, and we drop down to Mushroom Hill. So yeah, I'm gonna fool around for a bit, picking up some rings, asserting myself, and taking out some butter droids, jumping on mushrooms like it's no one else's business, waiting for just the right moment, and then this happens! That approximately 15 seconds right there marked the start of a wondrous, ostentatious bonus feature that to this day has not resurfaced in the Sonic franchise. It also marks the end of this part of the play-along. Cliffhangers! Join me in part 20 when we begin the search for the Super Emeralds! Remember, playing's no fun if you do it by yourself. See you guys next time! Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no! This isn't good! Oh no! I have no rings. What do I do?